Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Edessan Dark Crusade, Season 2. This evening, we once again focus on the halls of Elysium as a neonate, an ancile, a neonate, and a fledgling wander its marble halls in awe of its extravagances and fineries, and no doubt feasting on the vessels on display.
Nom. Nom 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 nom.
Apparently in a musical fashion.
Yes. Excellent. Perfect.
Clearly the highest of performance. As the nights have passed at this Elysium, a couple of things have become apparent. The Elysium has become slightly less populated over the course of the week, which is a bit unusual, at least from the few Elysiums that have been held where you've been here. They've usually maintained consistency, if not got even more populated. This seems to be of the inverse. It's a little bit emptier. The atmosphere is kind of tense. People are kind of, sticking to themselves for the most part. Like, they're kind of sticking to their own little circles. They're not really mingling, which is what normally happens and what's encouraged. And still is, but it's not really occurring. People aren't really coming out of their shells. And perhaps what is more worrying is that several Cainites have had to be removed because they've either been on the verge of frenzy or have frenzy due to hunger. There have also been several. There have also been quite a lot of rumors swirling around regarding the sanctity of the vitae, the health of particular Cainites. The low clans being particularly kind of hard struck victims by these rumors, ever the popular patsies. And needless to say, the Nosferatu and the Malkavians are currently on the top of the list for these accusations, which has not gone over well with those clans who deny such spurious claims, but the rumors have been making their rounds. There's also been gossip regarding how the princedom's actually been handling the crisis, and many are dissatisfied by the prince's supposed silence on the matter. But such things are often spoken in hushed tones. And that is where we set our scene. What's everyone doing? You're having a lovely evening? Surely.
Madeline is per usual, just keeping stern eye on Irene, just looking at him from afar, just staring, just with a smile on her face, obviously, but
babysitting.
One could say that. But she's keeping a stern and forceful eye on Irene. But other than that, she is mingling, seeming to be as good and friendly a fashion as before. Maybe she's actually even a bit cheerier for the moment. Whatever the reason, she doesn't seem too different from what people normally see her as.
Irene would have probably nipped on some of the mortals that are there, because it's never hurtful to get like a little bit more blood, and oh my god, that is nice. she would have been on the lookout for the fledgling from the Cainites, huge guy named Orso, because she is teaching him etiquette. It seems to be something that she's doing a lot, apparently, for the Cainite. It's the second one that she's teaching now.
I'm sure he's doing a fantastic job. You have nothing to worry about.
And other than that, she is staying a little bit out of the way of most social interactions. As yesterday, she managed to make the Nosferatu Primogen shut up, like a boss. So she is kind of afraid for not afraid, but she's anticipating a retaliation at some point. So she is just making sure to stay out of like the midst of the social gathering for now, and just making some small talk on the sidelines. If she sees Gufron, she will definitely go to him because yay, codering mates.
Huzzah!
But that depends.
I worry deeply for you.
For who in this case?
Do I ever need to be concerned about you?
Yes, apparently, because last time I walked into a hunter. Or rather, a bag of flour.
Wait,
walked into me.
I don't need to be. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm concerned about Gufron.
Oh, Jade.
Well, that's it, guys. Goodbye.
just
No, come back! Don't leave me here.
Oh no, the bathrobe walked away. What a loss.
How soft that bathrobe is? Like, that is the most amazing bathrobe I've ever tried on. And I have tried it on.
You tried on another.
Well, Gufron is busy kind of stroking himself with his bathrobe. And Irene apparently finds this appealing and decides to walk over to him. She has strange tastes.
I mean, only if she sees him and he's not like engaged in conversation or anything.
Gufron will actually take a little look around and see if there are any setites here.
There are the kind of the old standard affair. You let's see, run once real quick. You see Melina and Ahanif around. You see Hakaib and you see Francis.
Francis? I haven't had a talk with Francis yet.
Interesting.
But Gufron's gonna keep Hakaib company. He doesn't necessarily just like have much to talk, but it's like, hey, hello, how you doing? Yes, quite fine. Okay, lovely. Like just catching up, I guess.
Yeah, you walk over to Hakaib and form your little Selite circle, and he'll tell you how he's been doing recently. He's been kind of he hasn't been out of the city much recently. He's been largely dealing much more, shall we say, down to earth business.
So, how's this infestation plague going with your business? Are you hurting?
Makes my odd jobs a lot easier. Everyone's so busy looking over their shoulder, they're not looking at what's in front of them.
I guess it's... We seem to have quite an influx recently in our domain.
Yes, unusual that such remedies reach the poor in such sizes and well, in such quantities and quickness. I wonder who we have to thank for that.
I wouldn't know. But whoever this person may be, he seems like a very, very generous soul.
Undoubtedly.
The amount of dryness that is in his voice is just like, yes.
He's like, I fucking get it.
I get it. Get over your high horse.
You did good, okay? I give you credit. Shut up. But no, he simply says, how have you been? We haven't talked in a while. Hope business has been going.
No. Well, yes. We've recently had to help cover some people.
Oh,
And,
that was you. I see.
Of course that was me. Who's the biggest one around us that's in the bazaar?
True.
But yeah, I've
Well, I
just
wasn't
been
exactly given a long list of names, or accurate, apparently.
well, as long as it's forgotten, honestly.
Well, I'm sure you can handle. I'm sure the girl will be easy to handle, although a man runs through a building. That's going to keep heads turned for a while.
Of course it does. But there's not much we can do about that currently.
I generally find it easier to fill the air of hysteria than it is to provide a viable alternative, but I'm sure you have much more experience in this sort of trade than I do.
Well, the bazaar is already a hub of activity, and if you fill it with even more hysteria than what's already there with the plague, it's just going to explode. Which is not very good.
I wouldn't mind being showered in coin.
What did he say?
I wouldn't mind being showered in coin.
Shouting? What the fuck does that mean?
Showered
Explosion.
in coin, as in money. As
I thought he said Shaolin coin. I was just like, what? What is this for Eastern bullshit?
I am equation. What? No. No, he says I wouldn't. Sorry, my mic's a bit far away. He said he does say I wouldn't mind being showered in coin.
Well,
Fairly
no,
matter of fact.
that is definitely not a bad situation. But for the most part, I've just been kind of doing my thing.
Had no luck with the incident at the ruins some time ago. Funny story, actually. The Sheriff of Timurin walked up to me and started asking questions. Very odd.
I mean, I
He
did.
tripped there himself.
I did tell you about him wanting to meet with you about this.
I'm just curious as to why.
That
I'm not
incident
aware of
seemed to
any
have
business he
attracted.
has there.
That incident seemed to have attracted a whole lot more business than we originally thought.
Hmm. Oh.
Well, there were certainly unexpected things happening there.
With the rise in crime recently, it's been far less safe to travel outside the city. The Vorstadt have been awfully active. Sorry, I pronounced that incorrectly. He said Vorstadt.
I was about to say, wait a minute, that's not the right one.
Vorstadt, yeah, you're aware that basically, yeah, they're the kind of the name for the kind of raiding parties that kind of wander outside the city and kind of just rob people at the roadside and run little rackets outside of town. Sometimes when they're feeling particularly bold, they end up like just straight up attacking local hamlets that kind of don't.
Yeah,
don't
I know. Like
undervalue.
I have been informed about the Vorstadt, about certain
I
activities.
am continuing to inform you about the Vorstadt. There you go. This is more information. Yes.
So, I mean, is that in character or?
No. He just says that it's been much less safe for him to travel outside the city recently, and that they've been very very active.
Gofern's gonna lower his voice a bit and just says, "I would be a little careful around the Vorstadt if I were you." Same with the Brotherhood of the Euphrates.
You'll kind of lean a little bit of hushed tones and say, "Why so?"
Just they might be doing extra things that are not just on the side of. How many ties do you have in the underworld?
Some, but I don't associate with the Vorstadt much. The Euphrates, yes. I know they've plied odd trades from time to time, but
Gofern's going to think for a second. How much has your grandsire Melina told you anything yet about the extra activities? Because if you've been in touch with the Brotherhood of the Euphrates, that actually might be very, very good. Hello?
he kind of. Sorry, no. It's literally the silence as he kind of tips his head a little bit and puts a knuckle to his chin and thinks. I know they've been used to supply us and others with useful products.
Well, yes, very useful. Tell you what, we will talk about this at a later date, not here. Not when there are others around. I might be able to get us. Well, actually, no. We might be able to get a big haul of more things that we could have ever dreamed of.
Intriguing. Then I'll be in touch.
Do so. Do so. Do so.
Then
It is imperative that this stays within the clan.
naturally. In which case, I suppose I should look less conspiratorial and more like yourself. His arms open a little bit as if to look at. I'm slightly extravagant.
Duh!
Yeah,
Wonderful.
and
We are in Elysia after all.
I'll see you soon. Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
And go for we'll exchange a goodbye. With Hakai and Spot
yeah.
and a certain fledgling. As his eye falls on her. Oh, go ahead.
Before we switch over, Hake goes to talk to these two people. You recognize one is a Ventrue and the other one is a Tremere. The one with the pedals over the pedals falling on him and the overlay is the Ventrue, Everard, and Everard Godwin, and the other one a Tremere known as Kadar.
Gotcha.
Both look fairly well off. Let's say yes.
Gotcha.
Your eyes fall on the fledgling.
Yes. Hello.
Oh no.
I will first pick up my eye and put it back, and then I will walk over to her.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, well, since they are in like an official settings, we'll give a small curtsy.
He'll take off his binoculars.
As one does. Good evening, Fran.
Good evening, Irene. How have you been?
I have been well. How about yourself?
Considering I've been quite good. I've heard some extravagant rumors as of late about your activities here in Elysia.
Rumors, sir?
Yes, do tell. Is there truth to you? And kind of just looks around to make this way worse than it actually is. Is it true that you've thrown the Nosferatu Primogen out of Elysia?
What? No. I would never do that. And Irene will look kind of shocked.
Oh, shame. That's a rumor I can't spread then.
I may hope you would not.
Well, we must simply work on something else. Well, what did happen with the Nosferatu? You approached someone very intimately.
No.
New?
No. I would not approach anyone intimately. There was one Nosferatu who came over to talk to me. He made certain suggestions, and I politely Well, I wouldn't say turn him down, but that is basically what happened. She's not saying she'll just leave. She'll just stop after the but.
But
It I figured it would not be fitting for one of my standing, nor for one of his. He would. It would be probably looked down upon. His clan tribe. I mean, is secretly a werewolf. His clan. Yeah, I know, right?
Kill it. Heal.
His
Fucking Kagi.
religion was a Kagi? Oh God, no. His clan's primogen was not
Sure,
very. He made fun of him, and I decided to slightly correct that.
And here I was, thinking that you would not have any backbone. It is good to see. Good to hear. Ah, hello, Gofra.
Greetings, my lady Madeline. And he'll put his right hand over the left side of his chest and bow.
And she will curse you with a smile. And she'll just say, "So, Irene, I see you
Irene would
spent
curtsy
quite
as well.
bit of time with this one. It is good. Seems to be such an outstanding young gentleman. Are you both enjoying these nights, the Elysium?"
Gufran is so flattered by these compliments. It's like, ah, ah, ah.
Madeleine isn't the only one to approach you. She's followed by
Oh, damn.
the lovely Lady Katarina of Clan La Sombra, wearing this beautiful black gown. With these very long sleeves that just run across the floor, almost as if they were moving shadow. She just kind of slithers on up to you both.
I am still
Good
here
evening.
too. If she does approach
She says it to all of you.
Gufran will bow.
The Sombra
Well.
And he also makes that sound when he does it.
Yeah, God.
That would,
He will curtsy as well, but will be
fine.
more silent.
that's a 6-point social flaw. Make an obnoxious loud sound when you introduce yourself. That would actually be great. Anyways, sorry about that. Sorry. Madeline will curtsy as well.
How are you all doing
Lord
this evening?
Jesus.
Mr.
Quite well.
Wassam, I do not believe we've met before. She will hold out her hand. In a very ladylike fashion.
And Gufran will bow and take the hand and give it a very ever so polite kiss. My lady, it is a pleasure to meet you. Gufran Wassam, neonate of the followers of Set.
As I hear, you have made quite a name for yourself.
Oh. Well, yes. Apparently. I simply do what seems best in the opportunities when they arise.
The best one can hope from any of us, I would hope.
Exactly. So right you are, my lady.
And you, Lady Irene?
I am quite well, my lady.
She says this as she kind of gestures around and just, uh, her fingers kind of lightly place themselves on your shoulders.
I wouldn't move.
You seem ever so slightly tense. Is everything quite all right?
Everything is all right. Yes.
I need to check this character's empathy now. Don't sigh at me. You knew it was coming.
But this is a joyous moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's happening? What's happening?
Dick
She's
is being a Chris, and Chris is being a Dick, I think.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. She doesn't get any successes despite having quite a lot of dice, so it's fine. You're good.
Good.
You're safe.
You're safe for now.
For now.
I hear you've formed a go-to for good Mr. Wilson. Hard at work, I hope.
Always. Even now.
She kind of allows you to answer, but also seems to wait on an answer for Irene as her gaze kind of shifts towards her.
Oh, sorry, I was not paying
Her
attention.
fingers are
Out of
like
character.
fairly
What did
cold,
you say?
obviously. She says, I hear you formed a coterie of the good Mr. Wassam. Hard at work, I hope.
Indeed, we are. Yes, we are indeed a coterie. Sir Osam over here and Sir Eklios of the Cainites and myself have formed a group together. We're looking into a matter on behalf of the Seneschal at the moment. It's quite interesting.
As praiseworthy as you are, Lady Irene, there is no need to play down your own heart within this coterie. No need to allow yourself to be overshadowed.
I am not downplaying my part in this. However, I am considering it quite an honor that two neonates have considered me to be part of this group. I do not forget my place. lady.
As I said, do not underplay yourself.
Irene will not.
She just smiles at you. She seems very content. That means if you are a part of a coterie, then it would be wise to learn from your coterie mates, would it not?
I am taking every opportunity to learn from them. As a matter of fact, Lord Acleos and myself have a... Please go ahead, my lady.
And perhaps you could learn from the boldness of your Tismisi brethren and the confidence of your erstwhile companion. She'll gesture to Mr. Wassam.
The one and
Doesn't
only.
say this in a sarcastic fashion. Yeah, the one. More or less proving her point.
Irene's smile increases slightly.
Feels good to be vindicated.
I think the strength within our coterie is that we bring forth the best in each other and play on each other's personalities and strengths. As such, I prefer to not take too much learning from either Sir Gufran or Sir Acleos.
Sorry,
Nonsense.
what did you say?
I have
that last
I
bit?
have so much to give.
No, what did Irene say in that last?
She said, "Oh
I swear
God,
to God, you're underplaying yourself.
no, no, God, no." She said, in that regard, I prefer not to learn too much from Sir Gufran or Sir Acleos, as that would change the dynamic of our group considerably. It's something in that line.
I see.
Nonsense. I have so much to give.
Katerina just acts as if, I know what you're doing, Irene. Sort of look. Just smiles at you and nods. And just says, I see, yeah.
Wow, that sounded dismissive. Can I peony that?
That was more so towards. I see. This is a good idea. Don't learn too much from him.
Pretty much.
Like,
Or
which is exactly.
just standing right there.
Which is exactly
She's
what
got a specialty. She's got a specialty in hiding her intent, so she'll get
Damn it.
get a bonus here.
Just failed.
She gets 9 successes because she rolled 2
Jesus
10s.
Christ.
And she's really good at this. Who knew that
Obviously.
the Sombra were capable liars?
I am not going to PD because
Not
this
I.
is exactly the feeling that Gufran wants to give off. But like, haha!
Yes. When she's just she's complimenting you, maybe? But I'm glad to see you're all doing well.
And what of yourself, Catherine? These are trying times, but I know you will Always persevere.
Oh, but I couldn't possibly do it alone. She places her fingers slightly on Irene's shoulders.
Again, how many fingers does she have on my shoulders at this point?
Just not all of them.
Her.
Because she's standing kind of behind you.
Mm-hmm.
She's quite a bit taller than you. She's like, she's like, as tall as Auric is, maybe even a little bit taller. Auric's fairly average height for a male adult, and she stands a little bit taller than him. 5'9", almost 6 foot. She's very slender.
I mean, Irene won't move. She kind of gaze down as she sort of takes a compliment, but is not sure if it's actually is a compliment or not.
Oh yeah, she kind of places her fingers slightly on your shoulder, and it's very gentle, almost as if you were to have a glass frame. And she leans over slightly. She leans over ever so slightly, just because you're a little bit short. Almost as if she's praising a child in a way.
That's not too far from the truth. I mean, what?
I mean, right?
Oh no, it's closer to the truth than you know.
Sure,
Um,
Grandma.
does she just say sure?
No, gods, no.
Sure. Da.
Nope.
Get off.
Nope.
She'll
Try it. Just try
and
saying that.
No.
She smiles very widely, as if she's as if as if she's enjoying herself. Not like in a sadistic fashion, but this is fun. This is pleasant sort of smile. Very happy.
Govern's just like, I am standing in the middle of a group of Lasombra. This can't possibly go wrong.
It can't, right?
I'm standing in the middle as a low clan. I am standing in the middle of a couple of high clans.
Hey, we're Lasombra, not Ventrue. We're not going to spit on you.
Not in public, at least.
I mean, as long as they're useful.
Hey, you're my Cainites. You're useful. Don't worry.
Shoo.
If Lyrene has been ever so helpful.
I am too helpful.
Only doing the best I can, my lady.
Like child.
I mean, that is a compliment. Like, Irene will try to keep her modest demeanor, but she's beaming with pride as she says that.
A proper example. And I'm sure with friends like your co-terminates, you can only prosper to new levels. Kind of throwing Gufra on the bone because he is standing there, and he has been very good recently.
I mean, I am the best. Excuse you, lady.
You're a good boy.
He was polite. He showed due deference.
Of course I do.
And
What do you think I am? A Bruja? A Gar? I mean, what?
she'll, but
Shade.
Katerina will kind of release her kind of rather long, slender fingers from Irene's shoulders. Perhaps on the right shoulder, right shoulder, to just kind of slide down a little bit before it kind of just kind of brushes off you as she walks over to Madeleine, putting a pretty clear dividing line between the ancilla and the neonates in this conversation.
Hit it.
Katerina looks around for a little bit. As the silence kind of falls on the group.
And didn't they just walk away from us, or did I mistake that?
No. She just walked over to Madeleine, which put a pretty clear kind of dividing line between the ancilla and the neonates in this conversation, because all the ancilla are on one side, and all the neonates are on the other.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I thought they walked away.
And,
Madeline is just for the moment, just she seems content, but at one point she will just say, "Oh, I know that your sire, Edessan is a busy man, but do you think he would grace us with his presence tonight?"
I could not possibly say. My sire has been incredibly caught up in the affairs of the city recently, considering the foul contagion that has fallen upon us.
Of course. I would consider it a rare luxury to be honored by his company.
He has perhaps done the most out of any Cainite within the city to stem it.
Well, if there is anyone that can guide this city through this hard time, it would be him and you, as a counselor. Prince will steer us clear. But such illustrious help has never hurt anyone.
She lets the praise hang in the air, kind of soak it in. Head tilts, and she looks at you with a sly yet thankful smile. Oh. In any case, if I'm to be held to such an extraordinary standard, I believe I should be on my way for the moment. But we shall talk again.
I look forward to it.
She'll walk away. As she walks away, one moment. Tech issues. Man enters Elysium once more. You all know him. You've all seen him. You've all talked to him.
Oh, God, again. Sorry.
My body.
ends up walking into Elysium in this rather sturdy attire. What strikes you as rather awkward is the fact that he is armed. No one else in Elysium is armed, apart from the keeper.
And the sheriff, if he's here.
And the sheriff, of course, yes. The prince, of course, can circumvent the rules of the keeper, but does such an entity truly need a weapon? It's his blood, not his weapon.
I mean, I've seen him flying across the room. I bet you he needs one.
The correct answer to that question was yes. Minus 5 points from Hufflepuff. But,
Lol.
sorry, Irene's a Hufflepuff. I feel bad.
Sure, whatever.
Yes, the ever a prevalent Nerov. The ever overwrought, seemingly disturbed. Seems to just survey the room. Apparently in total violation of Elysium laws. And kind of catches your gaze for a moment. And kind of sees the whole room is looking at him rather awkwardly as he is
Armed.
in violation of the law. Could everyone make me a perception empathy check?
Sure.
Uh-oh. Let's roll that inning.
Perception.
Wow,
Watch.
okay.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Fail.
Okay, so
I
the
have-
neonates are useless.
Well, it's
Once
probably
again,
not, my
kids,
specialty
neon
probably
aliens.
doesn't apply, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
What was the specialty you have, sorry?
Truths.
No. That's basically equivalent of the lie specialty.
Essentially, so
So,
no other specialty. It's still
so yeah,
5.
you get 5 successes. Okay, so we'll start off with the failure because that's the easiest one to handle. Irene, you don't really. He's kind of veiled. Like most of his head is wrapped around in a veil with this kind of band of metal just kind of haphazardly on one side, kind of strapped to one side of his forehead. The only like prominent features are his nose and his eyes, and both kind of give off this rather intimidating, piercing demeanor. So it's kind of hard for you to really gauge what he's thinking. He just seems to have this sort of kind of hard yet confident allure to him. Gufran, as his eyes look of yours, or the group's rather, you're fairly certain, judging by his posture, that he's about to come running over to you to torpedo you all with a mace.
Roll initiative.
Oh God.
You can if you feel obliged, because he literally looks like, from your perspective, that he's about to launch an attack. He literally looks like he's about to come charging forward at all of you with a mace. Madeleine, with her 5 successes, you kind of get the feeling that like it's just the slightest movement of a veil, that like there's just the slickest smile underneath that veil. Like all of this to him is so remarkably entertaining. And there's kind of a sense of superiority to his build. He's kind of stood up, not like tense straight, but kind of almost seems to almost as if he was just a bit taller than he really was, as if he was above quite a lot of the people in this room, because he is holding a weapon. And he just seems to soak in everyone's sort of almost kind of hushed whispers of blasphemy against the Elysium, of just total disregard for its sanctity. It just seems so dismissive of it all. And it just feels to him as if it's such a great release. And he feels also, you get the sense of as if like, again, yeah, dismissal, as if like almost a sort of liberated feeling. For what reason you're not sure, whether he believes this is justified or not, or whether he's literally damaging damaging the sanctity, like breaking the sanctity of Elysium just for fun, or to feel liberated, or for a purpose. You're not sure, but he definitely feels very liberated, and definitely feels has a kind of a very he feels extremely confident and superior right now, and seems to dismiss seems to relish in the fact that people seem to have their eyes on him in a very sort of angered, irritated, shocked fashion.
Madeline will just.
Does anyone react?
Madeline will just smile for the moment, and depending on what two others do, if I just want Gufram, this is out of character, of course, to just put his hands up like Pukimdism style, and just be ready for a fight. Just like how about the exact? No, never mind. Sorry, I'm just.
Irene would probably look at like other people, see how they react.
Oh god, like the room kind of, each little circle kind of bursts into a small cacophony of whispers as he just flagrantly enters with not only his mace, but yeah, as you can see, like a knife tucked into his belt or his sash.
Can I PD both Madeline and Gufran, because
yeah, sure thing. Gufran, he hasn't attacked you, but you're pretty sure he's gonna. It's only a matter of time.
Gufran's going to look for the closest exit.
The closest exit is, funny enough, a place in which he entered from.
God damn it!
The only other exit is the door all on the other side of a room that leads to the back gardens.
I have 3 successes on Madeline and 2 on Gufran.
Madeline doesn't seem to be hiding. Like, I'm not rolling to oppose it, so.
I am.
Madeline just stands and observes him for a moment. And you can see that her smile just grows a little bit wider. Like, she has the normal, polite smile that you always see her with. Like, it's almost like it's like her face is stuck in that form, but it seems a little bit more genuine. Maybe there's a little bit in her eyes that just lights up a little bit more. As she will just go over, and she will approach the good man.
Saskia, Gufran's worried.
Yes.
He feels unease.
Irene will go and take just a slight step closer towards Gufran.
What
mistake?
What was
yeah, and Nirav simply looks. He kind of gives Irene and Gufran a fairly dismissive look before turning to face Madeleine as he kind of plays with his mace in his hand, as if he's toying with the moment. You're not sure if it's a view or with a room.
Good evening. Yeah. I hope you are finding the nights well.
Splendid.
You seem to be enjoying yourself. More so than before I saw you the last time. You seemed a little bit tense, but it is good to see that has changed.
The look on their faces is as the finest wine, wouldn't you say?
Honestly,
Exquisite.
Honestly, I do not care too much about their faces or their feelings at this time. I am more enjoyed to see a man who lives out his creed. This derives you pleasure. This derives you a sense of fulfillment. I can respect that quite a lot.
Gods live above their creeds. That will make sense in 30 or so minutes.
I want to do another PD on him.
Madeline
Yeah, sure.
looks at him and
You can make the check because he hasn't actually attacked you now, so you're a little bit more, Was I wrong? He is definitely toying with his weapon.
What the shit? I fail.
Yes, I know where all of Irene's failures and botches went. Yeah, no, you still. It's not as bad as a botch, so you definitely feel at ease, but you're pretty sure he's about to assault someone. Maybe not you, but you're not really sure how to react to this. I mean, this is flagrant violation of Elysium rules, and he definitely gives off the impression of being dangerous.
What is this Keeper of Elysium doing? What is the Toreador Primogen doing?
You don't see her in the Elysium right now, at least not in this room in particular. So there are several areas of Elysium. There are 2 balconies. Let me look it up for you so I can give you a full description of.
There's the gardens, or the back gardens, the 2 balconies, the main.
Yeah, there's the entrance, which is the front gardens. Let me check. All right, yeah. So you have the outside, just front gardens in a walled area. You have the entrance foyer, which you can see most of it through the room you're in, which is the main plaza, also known as the Crimson Room, just because of all the red banners, and kind of the red bed sheets and kind of the red sheets on the benches as well, where a lot of the mortals are kind of just tucked away, ready to be fed upon. You got the second set of floors, which are the balconies. You got the you've got a small kind of barroom area on the second floor, on the left balcony. It's actually a room that's quite it feels much more less prestigious than other rooms in the Elysium. It's a bit more grounded, a bit more rugged, a bit more kind of almost wholesome in a way. And it's a place where Cainites can actually be served like mortal food and drink if they wish it, although it's considered something of an oddity. On the other balcony, there is a stage room, a stage hall where Cainites can perform. There are the back gardens, which is through the back exit that you eyed is kind of a more accessible exit, considering Nirav is standing in front of the one to the foyer. And there is a small underground, kind of a small basement area gladiatorial pit, which hasn't been used in a few decades.
Oh, that's there, but nobody's really doing anything with it.
No, it seems that the keeper is not in this room right now.
Okay. What is Melina
Um,
doing? You said she was here.
Yeah, so Melina's reaction seems to be one that is very similar to the kind of room in general. She's off in a conversation with two other with Ahani, her child, and Francis.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all kind of, oh, this is interesting. They're a bit more intrigued than they are. Oh, he's breaking the rules. They're like, he's breaking the rules. Interesting. Sort of like. Ahani seems openly excited.
Of course she is.
Madeline, in response to his cryptic thing, will just say, "Should we be worried or joyed? Perhaps you or someone else has prepared a surprise for us?"
That depends. Are you Dagon?
No. No. But I understand, I suppose.
You have nothing to fear.
Public displays of punishment are educational, I suppose. It, however, loses in the spectacle. It loses some of its more effective punch to its effect.
But you speak as if you know what I'm doing.
Not exactly, but I can make some educated guesses.
True. But whether they're correct or not is another matter entirely. I suppose we'll see in 24 minutes.
Well,
And she'll walk off and will...
no, before she walk off, she will just...
Oh.
But if you would like to see where my educated guesses come from, I suppose we could make an arrangement. If you would be willing to visit me, of course.
Oh, pardon? Sorry, I didn't catch that last bit.
If you would be willing to visit me, of course. I am certain the two of us could learn much from each other, no? Well,
I would advise patience first before making such offers. But by all means, go ahead and make them. I have no issue whatsoever with them. Please do not mistake my advice for revulsion. Quite the contrary.
Well, depending on your view of things, I might be able to learn quite a few things from you. But I will see what this surprise and this night has in store for us. Please, do not let me keep you if you are busy.
Oh, I'm not busy at all. But there is someone I have to see. And he'll simply give you a very kind of this slow, just single wave before exiting into the main floor again and heading up the balcony on the right side. And he enters what you all understand to be the prince's office.
Oh boy.
And you
Madeline
fellas,
takes stock of
someone
that
you
and
had
just
to look
begins
out
to head
for.
back.
Oh boy, I know
Catherine
exactly
ends
what
up
he's
kind
going
of hurrying on over, kind of, clutching her dress.
Who's hurrying over
Such
where now?
disdain for a practice. Pardon?
Who's hurrying over where now?
Catherine is clutching her dress and kind of hurrying on over to you. She was definitely one of the circles that was extremely disapproving of what just happened. She was just staring daggers into him, but he didn't really seem to care. He seemed to relish in the disapproval.
Oh, he's one of those types. Gotcha.
But no, Katerina kind of is clutching her dress and walking on over and says, "Such disdain for our practice is disgraceful."
I am sure there must be some sort of a reason behind it. Else, I can't imagine why the guards would allow him to come in like that if there was no reason behind it.
I had a mind in me to wrap him up like a well-made parcel.
Maybe that would not have been the best of ideas since we are in Elysium.
If it were mine, he would have been put to the stake. And she says that as she kind of her head kind of just whips away as if she's kind of very, very agitated, very, very angry at this.
I thought he was
She's
one of the
being very
hounds of the
dramatic
sheriff.
and very expressive about it. Pardon?
I thought he was one of the hounds of the sheriff.
Not to my knowledge.
Oh,
Gives him even less authority to flout our rules and laws.
quick out of character question. He was the one who was fighting with the demon with us, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Got that mixed up. And of course, Irene wouldn't remember him from her nightmares. So forget I said that.
Let me show you the guy you're talking about, because just so you don't get confused. What's this guy? He's called Mustafa. You recognize him as an
Right.
Edessan. He's not here right now.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, in that case, Irene would not have recognized this guy anyway, because the only time she met him, he was kind of busy with seeing other things. I
So
believe.
yeah. Her slender frame kind of in a very agitated fashion just kind of waves from side to side. Like she seems to fidget when she's irritated. I'm surprised I've not seen the keeper.
Perhaps he
Well,
was called here on the prince's word.
I certainly would have expected him if I were the prince to have gone around, armed, simply to make a show of it. Again, her head kind of whips to the other side.
Well, yes.
I'm going to have words with Ardalian about this. I doubt Lady Astor will be any less agitated either. Remarkably thuggish.
Yes, well, quite a lot of feathers were ruffled with this show.
Rightfully so.
Gufran is going to nod and say, do excuse me. And he is going to wander over towards the satellite group and be like, hey, what's up, guys? What's up?
You're going to make me set up three overlays all in one thing. One sec.
That's all right. I don't necessarily want to talk to them. I just kind of like, I'm going to give this irritated Lasabra some space. She don't need no low clan in her presence.
That's true. She was kind of imposing. Yeah, no, you're able to head over to the Sadite Fang gang, who seem remarkably more okay with all of this.
I mean, of course they do.
I mean, how could they not be? Okay. There we go. Oh, there's clones.
Kinda, sorta.
Oh no, clone.
There you go.
It is a clone.
Yeah, no, they're all in rather very kind of deep conversation when they see you approach. With Melina kind of opening up to the group, but Ahanif being the first to answer. Ooh, a little excited, are we?
Who, me?
I do not know exactly what surprise is waiting for us, but a good one, I hope.
Are you walking over to the Sadites with Gufran?
Oh, right, that
Or are
was...
you staying
Never
with
mind.
Melina?
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That'll be weird.
Hi, guys!
Hello, low
I'm not saying he
clans.
doesn't deserve it, but still. Hello. Hello, fellow Cainites. Yes.
Hello.
You couldn't kneel
Filth.
now. You may bow. Kiss my hand, please. Thank you. No. Yeah, no, Ahanif says that directly to you. Because he seems so agitated.
He was certainly present. Or certainly yes, present. I wonder what will follow.
Oh, I can't imagine, but maybe he's closer to us than we realized. How exciting! I wonder what he'll do next.
Well,
Francis seems more intrigued, but Melina seems to actually follow Ahanif's line of logic to an extent. She's not perhaps as overt as Ahanif is, but she definitely seems to be, kind of like nodding in agreement and seems to have a small smile on her face.
well, I guess we shall know in 20 minutes.
Uh, 11 now. What did you think? You look awfully agitated. Catch you by surprise?
Of course he did. Someone walks with weapons into Elysium. That's always something to be slightly surprised at. But I'm more curious as to what will follow.
Yes, I hope he doesn't do anything boring with it. It's much more interesting when he does stuff like this.
Well, 10 minutes. Because this entire conversation will just kind of go on like, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, Ahanif just goes, I can't imagine what he's feeling right now. Actually, I can. And then she seems to become a little bit misty-eyed as she kind of seems to put herself in his shoes.
Hanif seems like
seems
way
to
too hype for all of this.
She is hype. She is so into this and everything that has just happened.
Oh, Hanif.
See her eyes narrow for a moment, as if she's about to reach some sort of realization, and then her eyes just kind of snap back to reality. She became very misty-eyed for a moment, very almost entranced. And she just looks at you again.
Is everything all right?
Couldn't be better. It's moments like these. She's just that in a very reverent fashion.
Okay. Wow. Gopher will just kind of sort of just continue the conversation until 11 minutes pass.
Oh, you got 8 more. She'll just say, actually, 1 second. It's like, I might have gotten the word wrong. She'll just say, a boundary broken, a good deed fulfilled this night.
Certainly so.
Let's hope he doesn't use it to construct more, though. It's only as good as what you do with it. No point swinging us around if
Well,
She
what
seems
will
to
you
suit
do
herself.
with it, depending on the situation?
She thinks on this. Oh, I'd have to have a moment. She smiles very broadly at you. Very sweetly with a predatory glint to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there are so many things I could do. But Melina will put a hand on her shoulder very softly. And Ahaneve just like kind of turns to her and gives her this very sweet, but also slightly deferent smile. Her smile kind of fades a little bit, like it's less playful now. It's a bit more genuine. There's a look of affection to her clanmates, and particularly to Melina. And Melina just says, with the right direction. Kind of spoiling Hanif's fun. Fine, fine. 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 I definitely know how to give good direction. Melina will simply approve in some vague fashion.
And satire. We know how to excite.
You have been taught well. But no, Francis will approach you. Seems to have been a much more neutral on this matter than his clanmates. Simply approach you. I must admit, I do find it... oh god, I have to do it.
You don't have to do any accent.
He speaks to you in what is clearly a Frankish accent.
Okay.
Oh ho ho ho.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Oh ho ho ho.
Just copy Damien and you'll be all right.
I can't do Damien's accent. Jesus Christ. It's literally impossible. I'd have to spend weeks. He'll simply say,
so my question is...
My question is... what is his purpose for doing as such? I do not believe that he is going about this in the purpose that we would desire.
We may never know. Or we will, for soon, I guess, rather.
Very soon, I hope. Yes. Accents are terrible, I'm so sorry.
Stop doing them then.
Bonjour. Mon ami. Saskia is slowly dying on the inside, which just gives me more reason to perform.
No.
Soon she will just be soup. But no. Kind of, yeah, he'll just say, no, if he is here to see the prince, then I can only assume that is another matter in play. The keeper would have already apprehended him over such an offence. We are being played in some way. I'm sure of it.
Yes. Well, only time will tell.
Which, as you say that,
We all die.
doors. That too. The doors to the prince's office open, in which two figures step out. One moment. As I do the thing. Constructions in minicam are painful. And that guy. Yeah, so two faces that you both recognize come out of the office.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
And the prince's voice will just echo across the balcony in a rather brisk announcement and simply state, Cainites of Edessa, let those who hear and see bear witness to this moment that Nirav of Clan Ravnos is now the Scourge of Edessa. The court has seen fit to grant him his position through his recent and most praiseworthy accomplishments in keeping the peace. We wish him well and congratulate him on his new title. And the prince will merely give a golf clap, which causes the rest of the court to kind of go into a very awkward applause.
It's like, yay.
Yay, this guy
Good
who
news,
just kind of
everyone.
walked in and just kind of
But fuck you.
showed us all up. Yay, okay. It does settle into a more kind of rigorous applause after a few seconds, but it does start off very awkward, and your successes still count, Madeleine, and he clearly just loves the fact that it's so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
He finds it so amusing. And he just bows to a very slight angle, a very acute angle. And will simply sheath his mace, which has been in his hand, being toyed with the entire time, and walk off after the prince kind of finishes the applause and says, please enjoy the rest of the Elysium as you see fit. Good evening. And he returns to his office, leaving just old Nirav by himself. And he just kind of leans over the balcony, kind of steeples his fingers, and just rests his chin on them, just kind of gauging the crowd, who slowly start go back to their kind of own conversations, and the main plaza becomes quite loud as there are quite a lot of people kind of obviously gossiping about the situation. He just seems to observe them all.
So is that what you expected?
I did. Oh, come on. Another stooge. That's what this was for. What a letdown.
Another time, perhaps.
She doesn't answer. She just looks so dejected. She honestly looks like her heart has been broken in some way, like as if she's been kind of betrayed.
There.
Like her face literally kind of crumples a little bit. And she's just kind of silent there. Melina's a little bit less emotional about it than simply kind of wraps an arm around her child. Such things take time, you understand? They're not spur of the moment. Come now. Everything will be quite all right. She seems to dote on her. And Ahani just kind of rests her head on Melina's shoulder. Again, very kind of upset, crumpled. She's almost sobbing.
God, woman. Meanwhile, what's happening in La Sombra town?
Oh, what is happening indeed in La Sombra town? Katharina needs to make a check.
Oh dear.
Is she frenzying?
I'm peony this before it goes wrong.
A lot of characters need to make checks, I think. I'm actually just gonna see which ones actually need to before I... Oh shit, this is gonna be hilarious. Okay. So, she needs to make a check. He needs to make a check. What is this guy's self-control? Oh dear God, please let it be high. It is! Oh, okay, he makes it. So the Ventru Primogen does not frenzy. And two more characters that need to roll. Okay, that character. Okay. And okay, so Katarina is fine.
Good.
Aw, such a shame.
Hey. I'm
Bad
standing
snake. Go away, snake.
right next to her, so shut up, you.
There is have someone in the room who you can hear better, Goofron, because you're closer. You're still a fair distance, but you're closer. There's a woman among bloody hell. there's a woman among a group of other Cainites. Largely of the Cappadocian clan.
Oh.
The Prince's clan.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah, you see these figures. That's not what I wanted. Be fair, come on. Okay. So you see Baylor. Madeleine, you recognize Anne.
Uh-huh.
You see Ohana's mentor. And you see of this woman absolutely losing her shit. She begins basically implanting her nails as if they were claws. She literally runs up to one of the pillars and begins effectively trying to climb up them in a rabid frenzy, and her eyes are a deep red and are kind of stuck to Nirav, who just waves at her as she is quite clearly in the throes of frenzy.
Hello!
Oh, God.
Yeah, he just waves because she has to basically reach him, and there's really only one direct method of doing that. She actually leaps up quite a distance. She leaps basically almost a full floor up. If this were like a normal like if this were a kind of normal ceiling sizes to the second floor. But she basically leaps halfway up to the pillar and then begins climbing the rest of the way in this aristocratic dress and with this long running black hair, kind of frigid pale skin, and these now kind of breaking nails and kind of bleeding fingers as she's literally just crushing them, just digging into the pillars, which is going to necessitate a another check from another character because she just did something which triggers someone's thing.
Oh boy, this sounds like a snowball coming down the mountain.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Frenzies trigger more frenzies. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, this character's rolling at an increased diff.
Jesus. I think it's time to
This
go,
character's
guys.
gonna spend a willpower though.
It's been fun, guys.
This character's spend a willpower because they have they saw this coming, so they have.
No, don't
to
spend the
prepare themselves.
willpower. God damn it.
No, they are going to because this particular thing they could see coming from a mile away. Actually, no, I'll be nice and say they don't.
Is it a member of Clan Blue?
Time. No, okay, so no willpower is spent and they still succeed. However, everyone immediately feels no, they don't, not yet. So this is how things start going down. Lady Astor's fingers are bleeding as she climbs up the pillar. Nirav is just kind of waiting for her, but as she kind of begins to reach the top at a fairly rapid, like she's completely feral. She's just clawing her way up to the top, like a rabid animal. As she begins to make her way up to the kind of upper half of this pillar, Nirav will step back from the balcony and put a hand on his mace. Her clanmates, particularly Padre, seems ready to act. Baylor and Anne seem to be sitting on the sidelines. Anne's a little bit unsure of what to do. Baylor just seems to just shrink into the background. In his kind of rather kind of haggard robes. Just kind of pulls his hood over and just kind of shrivels, and you kind of forget that he was there for a moment. Padre, however, actually, you see, takes out his fang and
Padre's not in the...
pierces his thumb, ready
Oh, boy.
to act.
Oop.
But before he can, there is kind of the briefest blur that runs across the hallway, which is really only visible via the fact that the person wearing it is wearing a bright red gown, so they're kind of visible. In the fact that they're a blur, like the upper half of their body is basically not really perceivable, due to the fact that it blends in with the rest of the Elysium. As everyone sees, the Keeper of Elysium basically, as a blur, just kind of flicker into existence by Nero's side. She's running at extremely high speed, and then just comes to a straight stop. So it's like this incredibly jarring motion of literally as if she almost kind of blinked from one position to the next. And she'll roll something. And I actually need to check what the roll is for that. Because I should have had the book open and I didn't. Shame on me.
Shame.
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 Indeed.
Shame. Ding ding.
Okay, what's this character's willpower? This character's willpower is... Wow, pretty high. Surprising. Oh, it's not over there. Okay.
Chris, you better bet that sweet Toreador Primgen ass that I'm gonna use this as like as like a flame and fan it. Just like whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Okay, what are you doing?
Nothing yet, but after the scene, I'm gonna do
Okay.
a couple
All
of
blue
things.
books.
No, not even blue books.
Oh god.
I'm gonna use this to grab that
Okay.
heartbeat position.
I figured.
That is 2 successes, in which the Toreador succeeds on their roll. Everyone is actually completely unaware that she used this power because it does not directly affect anyone but the person she's using it on. This character gets to make another self-control check at a vastly reduced difficulty. Because they are now being forced to strike at one who they don't want to strike at all. This is where the blood bond is actually helpful.
Blood bond? Oh. Oh. Oh.
I say
Wipe,
blood. It's not
wipe that
quite
smile off your face, Max.
And you
I'm
don't
treating it as if it were. Shall we say that? That's a clue to what she just did.
Oh no, I know exactly what she did. Oh, you ass.
Mhm.
You ass.
She did a
Glorious
thing.
ass.
That booty.
A glorious ass. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. She stops. For a moment, Astor is climbing frantically up this pillar, leaving these like rather horrid, like dents, scratch marks, even causing a bit of the small, tiny, like insignificant but notable pieces of masonry to fall out of the pillar. But then her gaze suddenly just shifts to the keeper, who just looks at her with this fiercest expression of just unfiltered hatred. As in, how dare you? And she just looks longingly into the eyes of the keeper, loses her grip, and falls all the way back to the bottom of Elysium. Nirath will actually jump down and was about to, but the keeper's hand moves far faster than he can act and basically stops him, just kind of plants a hand on his chest, and you just hear her say no.
Now.
This fraud shall be removed from my Elysium. Now. And for the first time this evening that you've seen him, Nero just kind of puts up both his hands and just nods and just seems to yep. And then he looks like he's about to jump down again, and she says, "The stairs, use them."
They exist, peasant.
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah. Of course. Yes. And yeah, he kind of just kind of all the wind taken out of his sails, just kind of hurries on down very quickly, I might add. Like it, definitely faster than even the most athletic human. And the Lady Astor is just for this entire period is just kind of laying there, As she hit the floor, you could not just hear the cracking of the floor, but also of her bones. It looks like she took a nasty fall. Whereas,
Yes,
like, the
fortitude.
slightest, she does. But I never said she used it.
Also bashing damage. Ow.
Yeah.
Still hurts.
Mm.
Looks like she took a bit of a nasty fall. Like, she definitely it sounded like she fractured something. She just lies there emptily up towards the ceiling. Her eyes just her face is just kind of coated with blood at this point as her tears and guilt just kind of leave her empty. And Niav just kind of picks up the utterly paralyzed Lady Astor. Just the shell-shocked, broken individual. And he will just fireman's carry her out of Elysium. And you literally see him, if you look into the main foyer, is the whole court just looks in silence at this, and you see Padre just kind of lick his thumb clean as if nobody saw, like that. No, I wasn't going to do anything. Everything is fine. But you see him literally just casually toss her outside of the entrance to or the entrance to the building, and he'll have the guards escort her out the rest of the way, poking and prodding her with their weapons the whole way, and she just kind of stumbles the way down until you lose sight of her.
An eventful evening.
First near of now, Astor. Maybe I was wrong to put so much faith in her.
It does seem to hit even the best of us from time to time. Madeline just looks after the she's an ancilla, right? She's not an elder, right?
Lady, who?
Lady Astor.
Lady Astor is an ancilla of Clan Cappadocian.
Okay.
And has just disgraced herself in court.
That is very much clear, but yeah, just her status. I was just. She just. Why? I have seen it happen to others, which you would not expect it of, but oh well.
You can hear the echoes down the hall. If you look towards the hallway, you can see Lady Astor trying to break back into Elysium again, like her face is just kind of red with blood. Just a river of tears just streaming down her face. Nirav, however, has this time kind of manhandled her pretty badly.
Loving every second of it.
See him just smash her with her mace to prevent her from getting back in, and then just kind of grabs her by the scruff of her dress, kind of tearing it. And you can like hear Astor kind of screaming like, "No, I want to see her. Please let me see her. I just want to see her." and she is dragged off far less ceremoniously this time. And you can just hear her begging for forgiveness, begging to see her, the object of her obsession.
Look at these lovely tiles on the floor. They are so interesting.
Speaking of the actual material matter of the Elysium, you can see the keeper has actually sidled up to the pillar and seems to be kind of softly rubbing her hands over it, particularly the dents. She looks so heartbroken and furious. Like there's such a run of emotions just flowing through her right now, just kind of stretched across her face. And it's almost like she's rubbing it better. She just kind of picks up the stray masonry, calls on the gold servants to aid her in cleaning up the mess. And she seems to compose herself, but she's clearly very, very angry, furious. She's upset, heartbroken. In fact, it almost reminds you a little bit of Ahanif. Like there's a part of her which is just clearly heartbroken. Like is the perfect word for it, as if she has lost a part of herself this day. And she just seems to obsess over these dents in the pillar and doesn't really pay any attention to anyone else. I suppose it is on us to rise above the failed mannerisms of others. Just because it happens to the best of us does not make it a suitable excuse. She disgraced herself, allowed herself to be led on by the whims of a fool, a jester. Let's hope he's better with his weapon than he is with his manners.
My previous sire, she told me to. That De La Sombra set the example. And showed the way. I guess that is the best we can do here.
The court kind of slowly begins to kind of turn back into motion, right itself, and people begin whispering and talking again. Some as if nothing had even happened. But of course we all know what they're talking about.
Me! Well, no, wait.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He
how come
botched his
almost
role,
shit his
acted,
pants.
Yeah, everyone that was in the room who was on the Road of Kings needed to make a check there.
Humanity.
Yes. She simply says, it's an absolute disgrace. I can't even begin to imagine how awful the keeper must feel right now.
Boy, at least it will be, well, hopefully a lesson she will learn well. The aftermath of all this.
However, it does feel, but maybe it's because of my limited experience, that for a member of the court of the prince, this is not a very good beginning of his function.
She'll most likely be punished severely by the primogen of her clan,
I meant
or the
in
prince
this
herself,
regard.
for humiliating him in front of dozens. For example, if I would no doubt expect the same if I were to have lost control in court. My soul would never let me hear the end of it.
You're not even going to try, huh? I'm so tempted to be like, actually, she was talking about Mira, but...
Yeah. I mean, she tried once. Of course.
When one behaves as
Scum.
beneath their station... Does Gufran just come in and say that?
No. No!
Please
I
tell
mean,
me he does.
that's
Come on.
That's the most anti-Goofran thing ever.
I'm ashamed of you.
You can be ashamed all you want. There.
Beneath their station. Beneath... a fetching beneath that of their own beast. It is unthinkable. And to be of the prince's clan, it is...
Lady Katrina, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I may be wrong on this, but I thought that one of the rules in Elysium is that it is also an insult to the Keeper of Elysium herself if someone insults someone or deliberately tries to anger another Cainite. Drives them to frenzy. Is that not breaking the rules of Elysium as well?
Indeed, and that's what makes the man so frustrating. The prince made the announcement, and she frenzied at that moment. Or are we to tell the prince that he incited the frenzy of another because he promoted a most capable and accomplished Cainite to a suitable role? As such, the only one at fault can be Lady Astor herself, or perhaps just Astor. Which, as a noble, you understand is a fairly brutal fucking
Yeah.
remark to just skip over a title like that.
Uh-huh.
That's like, well,
I mean,
goodbye, title.
yeah, Ari knows that feeling, so she just
It's just
gonna.
not how a lady acts. They are not feral beasts.
I mean, she
they are
Lie
is.
to her.
graceful.
I mean, she is. But hey,
Polite. She was, certainly not now.
But then again, I would never make such a accusation towards the prince. However, I do not feel that he would be the one having any blame in this. But the behavior of the new Scourge while walking into this place, is that not like, I am quite sure he chose his entrance and the way of entering deliberately, knowing full well
He
what
knew
was
he was
going
to
to
be
come down.
Scourge. He knew he was to be Scourge.
Yes, but he did not hesitate to rub it in people's faces, so to speak.
And therein
He
lies the
simply
problem.
walked.
They allow
He simply
themselves to
walked.
be triggered.
Are you interrupting Lady Katarina, by the way?
No, I am not. You're just lacking, or I'm lacking. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, she sorry. I'll let you continue because yeah. Like,
Oh, okay, fair enough. Madeline will just simply say, and therein lies the problem. They allowed themselves to lose control to an fairly minor provocation. That is unbecoming of anyone, of a high clan or a low clan.
I see. I'm not yet very familiar with what is to be considered a minor or a major provocation.
oh, it's quite all right. And Lady Katarina just kind of her right hand just again very gently places itself um, upon your delicate frame, and she simply says, "So few Elysiums, yet you've been such a fast learner. I'm sure you'll figure things out in no time at all."
So, when someone calls you a caitiff, would that be considered a minor or a
That's the
major?
word. Let's not speak of things here. Oh, sorry, let's not speak of such things here.
But I have been called that in here.
By whom? Her smile becomes a lot more rigid.
The Nosferatu Primogen. It was right after Prince Ulrich made his announcements.
Her smile is very, very kind of frozen in place, as if, I see.
I mean, I
Well, it's a
figure you.
shame to see that the Nosferatu Primogen's sire forgot to teach him the utmost basics of our society. Such a poor example for his clanmates to follow.
He seems to
Oh
be
no,
very
they'll
eager
never do
to.
under such leadership.
He seems to be very eager to continue his insulting manners as he's shown yesterday. Although he did
And yet
not
I hear
call
you
me a
sent
caitiff.
him. And yet I hear you sent him running back to his hole like the rat that he is.
I merely helped one of his
Don't
own
underplay
clan.
yourself.
I am not. It was my intention was to help the clanmates.
And you did, and you should take credit for such a thing.
I would rather see a way to... No, you are right. We should not speak of this in here.
Certainly not of the false accusations. For Primogen, who has only been here about, a month? Perhaps too soon to be throwing such callous slanders around. She kind of like her head kind of like her neck kind of doesn't crack, but it's like that kind of brief tilt and back, if you know what I mean. And she kind of gives the quite uncalled for from the good Primogen. A crude and honorless Cainite is not one at all. I'm glad to see the company I stand with understands such things. But I should see to miss the good Lady Ardelian. I'm sure she'll be most shocked to see a member of our happy little trifecta disgrace themselves in such a way. No doubt amends will have to be made. A pleasure speaking with you all. Particularly Irene. To say Lady Irene.
Thank you, my lady. It was indeed a pleasure. She'll curtsy.
She curtsies to all of you. Lady Madeleine. Mr. Wissam. And she will run off to go speak to the our little partner in crime, the good Lady Andrea Ardelian. And I believe if that is all, we can end our scene.
Yeah.
Very well.
I guess.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we will see you all next time.